If you're over 50 and you've noticed your skin doesn't look quite as vibrant as it used to, you're certainly not alone. Maybe you've tried creams, serums, and moisturizers, but you haven't seen the results you hoped for. Well, here's something worth considering. What you put on your plate every day might matter just as much as what you put on your skin. Today, I'm going to share 13 foods that could be working against your skin's natural glow, and some of these might genuinely surprise you. We'll go through each one together, step by step, and I'll explain what the research suggests and offer some simple alternatives you might consider instead. Hello, my friend, and welcome back. I'm Dr. Sarah Truman, and it's so wonderful to have you here with me today. Before we dive in, I want to be very clear about something important. I'm a health coach and wellness educator. I am not a medical doctor, and this video is not medical advice. Everything I share today is for general educational purposes only. Please talk to your own doctor or healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your diet, especially if you have health conditions like diabetes, heart disease, kidney issues, or if you take any medications. Your doctor knows your personal situation best, and nothing I say here replaces their guidance. We're all different, and what works beautifully for one person might not be right for another. So please, take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't, and always check with your healthcare team first. Now, let's talk about what we're covering today. We're going to explore 13 foods that research suggests might contribute to skin aging, and I'll explain why in simple, easy-to-understand terms. Here's our roadmap. First, we'll talk about why what you eat affects your skin in the first place. Then, we'll go through the 13 foods, grouped into 4 main categories so it's easier to remember. After that, we'll address some common myths about skin and diet. I'll share some important warning signs that should prompt you to see a doctor. And finally, we'll wrap up with a simple summary you can take with you. Sound good? Let's get started. So why does what you eat affect your skin so much? Well, think of your skin as a window into what's happening inside your body. Your skin is actually your largest organ, and it needs proper nourishment to stay healthy, just like your heart or your brain. As we age, our skin naturally goes through changes. It produces less collagen, which is the protein that keeps skin firm and supple. It also produces less of the natural oils that keep skin moisturized. Cell turnover slows down, meaning your skin doesn't renew itself as quickly as it once did. These are all completely normal parts of aging, and there's nothing wrong with you if you notice these changes. However, research suggests that certain foods may speed up these aging processes, while other foods may help slow them down. One key factor scientists talk about is something called inflammation. Inflammation is your body's natural response to injury or infection. But when you have too much inflammation happening all the time from things like stress, lack of sleep, or certain foods, it can show up on your skin as dullness, wrinkles, puffiness, or uneven texture. Another factor is something called glycation. This is a process where sugar molecules attach to proteins like collagen and make them stiff and less flexible. Over time, this can contribute to sagging and wrinkles. The wonderful news is that you have more influence over these processes than you might think. Small, gradual changes to your eating habits could, over time, support healthier-looking skin. This isn't about perfection or never enjoying a treat again. It's about being aware and making informed choices that align with your goals. You're not alone in this, and every positive choice you make is a step in the right direction. Let's dive into our first group of foods. These are what I call the sugar and sweet treat category, and we have 4 foods to cover here. The first food to consider is added sugar, and this includes things like candy, cookies, cakes, and pastries. Now, I know these foods bring joy, and I'm not here to tell you that you can never have a piece of birthday cake again. But here's what research suggests. When you consume a lot of added sugar, it can trigger that glycation process I mentioned earlier. The sugar molecules bind to the collagen and elastin fibers in your skin, making them stiff and less resilient. Some researchers call these damaged proteins advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, which is rather fitting. Studies have associated higher sugar intake with more visible signs of skin aging. Again, this doesn't mean an occasional treat will ruin your skin. It's about patterns over time. If you're having sweetened coffee drinks, desserts, and candy regularly throughout the day, that adds up. A simple swap might be reaching for fresh fruit when you want something sweet. Berries, in particular, are rich in antioxidants that some research suggests may actually support skin health. The second food in this category is sugary breakfast cereals. Many cereals marketed as healthy actually contain significant amounts of added sugar. When you start your day with a blood sugar spike, it can set off a cascade of effects that may not serve your skin well. Reading labels is helpful here. Look for cereals with less than 6 grams of sugar per serving, or consider alternatives like oatmeal with fresh berries and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Oats are actually associated with several health benefits and are gentle on the digestive system, which many seniors appreciate. Third on our list is soda and sweetened beverages. This includes regular soda, sweetened iced tea, fruit punch, and even some enhanced water products that contain added sugar. These drinks can deliver a concentrated dose of sugar without any of the fiber you'd get from whole foods to slow down absorption. Some people find that simply swapping sugary drinks for water with a squeeze of lemon or lime makes a noticeable difference in how their skin looks and feels over time. Staying well hydrated is also essential for skin that looks plump and healthy, so this swap offers a double benefit. The fourth food in our sugar category is sweetened yogurt. Now, yogurt can be a wonderful food, especially varieties with live cultures that may support gut health. However, many flavored yogurts contain as much sugar as a dessert. A better option might be plain Greek yogurt with your own fresh fruit added. This way, you control the sweetness and you still get the protein and probiotics. Before we move on, let me remind you that moderation is key here. I'm not suggesting you eliminate all sugar forever. That wouldn't be realistic or enjoyable. The goal is simply awareness. When you understand how these foods might affect your skin, you can make choices that feel right for you. Take your time with any changes and be patient with yourself. Now let's move on to our second category, which I call processed and packaged foods. We have 3 foods to discuss here. The fifth food on our list is highly processed snacks like chips, crackers, and packaged cookies. These foods often contain a combination of refined carbohydrates, unhealthy fats, excess sodium, and additives. The refined carbohydrates act much like sugar in your body, potentially contributing to that glycation process. The sodium can lead to water retention and puffiness, especially around the eyes. And some of the fats used in processed snacks may promote inflammation. A simple alternative is to prepare some healthier snacks at home. Sliced vegetables with hummus, a small handful of nuts, or some apple slices with a little nut butter can satisfy that desire for something crunchy or savory without the same potential downsides. The sixth food to consider is processed meats. This includes bacon, hot dogs, sausages, deli meats, and similar products. These foods are often high in sodium, which, as I mentioned, can contribute to puffiness. They also contain preservatives like nitrates and nitrites that some research has linked to inflammation and oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is essentially damage to your cells from unstable molecules, and it's associated with accelerated aging. If you enjoy meat, you might consider choosing fresh, unprocessed options like baked chicken, fish, or turkey breast that you prepare at home. This way, you control what goes into your food. The seventh food is refined carbohydrates, particularly white bread, white pasta, and white rice. When grains are refined, they lose much of their fiber and nutrients. What's left is quickly converted to sugar in your body. This rapid blood sugar spike may contribute to inflammation and glycation. Switching to whole grain versions can make a difference. Whole wheat bread, brown rice, quinoa, and whole grain pasta still let you enjoy these familiar foods while providing more fiber and nutrients. The fiber helps slow down the absorption of sugars, which may be gentler on your skin over time. Let me pause here and check in with you. How are you doing so far? I know this is a lot of information, but you're doing wonderfully. Feel free to pause the video at any time if you want to take notes or just absorb what we've covered. There's no rush at all. Now let's look at our third category, which involves fats and fried foods. We have 3 more foods to discuss. The eighth food on our list is fried foods. This includes French fries, fried chicken, donuts, and anything deep fried. When foods are fried at high temperatures, especially in oils that are reused multiple times, harmful compounds can form. Some research suggests these compounds may increase oxidative stress and inflammation in the body. Fried foods are also typically high in calories and low in the nutrients your skin needs to stay healthy. This doesn't mean you can never enjoy fried food again, but making it an occasional treat rather than a regular habit may serve your skin better. Baking, grilling, steaming, or air frying are cooking methods that can give you satisfying results without the same potential concerns. The ninth food to consider is margarine and foods containing trans fats. Trans fats were once common in many processed foods, and while regulations have reduced their presence, they can still be found in some products. Check ingredient labels for the words partially hydrogenated oils. Trans fats are strongly associated with inflammation and have been linked to various health concerns. Butter in moderation, olive oil, or avocado oil may be better choices for cooking and spreading. Extra virgin olive oil, in particular, contains compounds that some research suggests may actually support skin health. The 10th food is certain vegetable oils when used at high heat. Oils like corn oil, soybean oil, and sunflower oil are high in omega-6 fatty acids. While we need some omega-6 fats, having too many in relation to omega-3 fats may promote inflammation. For high-heat cooking, oils with higher smoke points and more stable fats like avocado oil or refined coconut oil might be worth considering. For salads and low-heat cooking, extra virgin olive oil is a popular choice. Again, please check with your healthcare provider about what's right for your particular situation, especially if you have any heart conditions or concerns about dietary fats. Let's move on to our fourth and final category of foods. This category includes beverages and a few other items that might surprise you. The 11th food on our list is alcohol. Now, I want to approach this topic gently because I know many people enjoy a glass of wine with dinner or a drink on special occasions. Moderate alcohol consumption is a personal choice, and I'm not here to judge anyone. However, it's worth knowing that alcohol can dehydrate your body, and dehydrated skin tends to look less plump and more lined. Alcohol may also dilate blood vessels, which can contribute to redness and broken capillaries over time. Some research suggests that alcohol affects sleep quality, and poor sleep is itself associated with skin aging. If you enjoy alcohol, staying well hydrated by drinking water alongside your beverage may help minimize some effects. Some people also find that reducing their intake leads to noticeable improvements in their skin's appearance. The 12th food to consider is excessive caffeine. Now, I know many of us love our morning coffee or tea, myself included. In moderate amounts, coffee and tea can actually be beneficial because they contain antioxidants. The issue is when caffeine intake becomes excessive or when it replaces water consumption. Like alcohol, caffeine has mild diuretic effects, which means it may contribute to dehydration if you're not drinking enough water alongside it. If you enjoy caffeinated beverages, simply being mindful about also drinking plenty of water throughout the day can help keep your skin hydrated. There's no need to give up your morning cup unless you want to or your doctor advises it. The 13th and final food on our list is very salty foods. This includes things like canned soups, frozen dinners, fast food, and heavily salted snacks. High sodium intake is associated with water retention and puffiness, which can make skin look less firm and healthy. It can also affect blood pressure, which is something many seniors need to monitor carefully. Cooking more meals at home, using herbs and spices for flavor instead of relying on salt, and choosing low-sodium versions of products you buy can all help. Many people find that after reducing their sodium intake for a few weeks, their taste buds adjust and they actually prefer less salty food. Now, before we wrap up our food discussion, I want to address a few common mistakes and myths about diet and skin health. The first myth I hear often is that you need expensive supplements or exotic superfoods to have healthy skin. While certain nutrients are indeed important for skin health, You can get most of them from ordinary, affordable foods. Colorful vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, fish, and whole grains provide a wide range of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that research associates with healthy skin. You don't need to spend a fortune on special powders or pills. That said, if you're considering any supplements, please discuss them with your doctor first, as some can interact with medications or may not be appropriate for certain health conditions. The second myth is that cutting out all fat is good for your skin. This is actually the opposite of what research suggests. Your skin needs healthy fats to stay moisturized and supple. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, as well as in walnuts and flax seeds, are particularly associated with skin health. The key is choosing healthy fats while limiting trans fats and being moderate with saturated fats. The third myth is that dietary changes will produce overnight results. I wish I could tell you that changing your eating habits today will transform your skin by next week, but that's not realistic. Skin cell turnover takes weeks, and the deeper effects of dietary changes may take months to become visible. Please be patient with yourself. Sustainable changes over time are far more valuable than dramatic short-term measures that you can't maintain. If anyone promises you instant results from a diet, that's a red flag. Another common mistake is focusing only on what to avoid while neglecting to include skin-supporting foods. It's wonderful to reduce your intake of the foods we discussed, but it's equally important to eat plenty of foods that may support skin health. Leafy greens, berries, fatty fish, nuts, seeds, avocados, olive oil, and water are all associated with healthier-looking skin. Think of it as crowding out the less helpful foods with more helpful ones, rather than focusing only on restriction. Now, I want to share some important warning signs that should prompt you to see a doctor rather than trying to address them with diet changes alone. While many skin changes are simply part of normal aging, some require medical attention. Please see a healthcare provider if you notice any new moles or spots that are asymmetrical, have irregular borders, have multiple colors, are larger than a pencil eraser, or are changing in size, shape, or color. These could be signs of skin cancer, which is highly treatable when caught early. Also see a doctor if you have a sore that doesn't heal within a few weeks, skin that is suddenly very itchy without an obvious cause, rashes that don't go away or that are accompanied by fever or other symptoms, or any skin change that concerns you. Trust your instincts. You know your body better than anyone, and if something doesn't feel right, it's always better to get it checked out. No dietary change can replace proper medical care for a genuine health concern. I also want to remind you that some medications can affect your skin, making it more sensitive to sun, drier, or prone to other changes. If you've noticed skin changes after starting a new medication, please talk to your doctor. Never stop taking a prescribed medication without your doctor's guidance. Let's take a moment to recap what we covered today. We discussed 13 foods that research suggests may contribute to skin aging. These included added sugars in foods like candy, pastries, and baked goods, sugary breakfast cereals that cause blood sugar spikes, soda and sweetened beverages, sweetened yogurt with hidden sugars, highly processed snacks like chips and crackers, processed meats with preservatives and excess sodium, refined carbohydrates like white bread and white pasta, fried foods cooked at high temperatures, margarine and foods with trans fats, certain vegetable oils when overheated or overused, alcohol when consumed in excess, excessive caffeine without adequate water intake, and very salty foods that can cause puffiness. Remember, you don't have to change everything at once. That approach rarely works and often leads to frustration. Instead, pick just 1 or 2 items from this list that feel manageable to address. Maybe you'll swap your afternoon soda for sparkling water with lemon. Maybe you'll choose whole grain bread instead of white. Small steps, taken consistently, add up to meaningful changes over time. Also remember that healthy skin isn't just about food. Getting enough sleep, managing stress, staying physically active within your abilities, protecting your skin from excessive sun exposure, and staying connected with loved ones all play a role in how you look and feel. It's all connected, and every positive choice supports the others. Be patient and kind with yourself. We're all doing the best we can, and progress looks different for everyone. Your worth is not determined by how your skin looks. You are valuable and deserving of care at every age and at every stage. If you found this video helpful, I'd be so grateful if you'd give it a thumbs up. That simple action helps other seniors find this information, and it means the world to me. If you're not already subscribed to our channel, I'd love to have you join our community. I share new videos every week designed to help you stay healthy, active, and independent as you age. We're all on this journey together, and I'm so glad to have you here. If you'd like to continue learning, I recommend watching my video on foods that may actually support healthy, glowing skin. It's the perfect complement to what we covered today, and I think you'll find it really helpful. I'll put the link on screen and in the description below. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I truly appreciate you being here, and I hope you found something useful to take with you. Remember to talk to your doctor before making significant changes. Be gentle with yourself and know that every positive choice matters. Take good care of yourself, my friend, and I'll see you in the next video.